Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Welcome to the chapter 3 of the Autocad tutorial series for architecture students. I hope you watched the first two chapters because without that you won't be able to proceed forward. If you haven't watched it yet, you can tap at the I at the top of the screen to watch it right now. Just a quick revision. In the last video, we discussed the draw and the modify tool in the toolbar. Today we will be discussing the next tool, that will be the layers tool. Also, while watching the video, if you have any queries or doubts, do comment down below and I'll discuss them in the next video. You can also DM me on Instagram or email me, both the links given in the description box below. Now let's get started with today's video. Before starting with layers, I'd like to discuss the three main points that we missed in the previous chapter, which is the Polygon tool, the trim tool, and the extend tool. So these three tools are also as important as the others. So let's get to the first tool, that is the Polygon tool. So what is a polygon? So a basic definition of a polygon is any figure that has more than three or more than three sides. Any enclosed figure that has three or more than three sides is called a polygon. So like a triangle, a square, a pentagon, a hexagon, a septagon, etc. So like this, how do we draw a polygon in AutoCAD? So in the last chapter I taught you how to draw a rectangle, but I forgot to teach you how to draw regular polygons. So we'll start with that first. So you can see that in the toolbar above we don't have the option for the polygon. So what you do is we need to give the command. I hope you downloaded the commands PDF, the AutoCAD commands PDF that I gave you in the previous video. It was, if you didn't get it, it was in the description box for the chapter 2. You can check it there, as well as I'll mention it in the description box in this video as well, so it will be easy for you and more convenient to get it access to it. So let's start with the polygon. So a polygon, the command for polygon is pol. Please check the command box below. So pol, as soon as I enter pol, do you see your polygon? So it says creates an equilateral closed polygon, right? So when I select pol and click on enter, first thing it says me in the command box is that enter the number of sides, 4, less than 4 or more than 4. Okay, so let's see, we start by drawing a triangle. So I'll enter 3 and click enter. Now it says please specify the center of the polygon. Okay, I'm specifying the center. Click anywhere on the screen. Now it says that enter an option, inscribed in the circle or circumscribed into the circle. So do you know what is inscribed and what is circumscribed? So okay, I'll tell you how to do that. So if you don't know, we will discuss it. So let's start with inscribed in circle. So I click on inscribed in circle, and now it says please specify the radius of the circle. So when it is inscribed in circle, what you will see is the center would be the center of the triangle, and the second point will be the vertex of the triangle. So that will be the height that you will mention from the center to the vertex of the triangle. Suppose I mention 300, okay, and I click enter. I see that the it's gone. So yeah, so this is our triangle. Okay, now how did I bring this triangle? It is the zoom extend. So we lost the triangle. So whenever you lose a drawing anywhere on the screen, just type in Z enter and then E enter. So it will zoom out to all the drawings that are present on the screen. You see I already have a drawing over here, so I'll move it somewhere else. Okay. Let's take a smaller dimension. Okay. So I'll select POL, enter, and then I now enter the number of sides 3, enter, and then I'll do the inscribed in circle as well as put in the radius as 3, enter. Okay, so we'll get the proper triangle. Now inscribed will always be from the center of the triangle to the vertex of the triangle, so you will need to mention that radius. But on the other hand, if it is a circumscribed triangle, so let's select circumscribed, and then so you see it will be from the center of the triangle to the midpoint of the edge. Get that? So you have to put in that radius. So if I put in 3 here as well, you see that this triangle is bigger than the first triangle, because first it was from center to the vertex, I took it 3 centimeters, but in this case I took it from the center to the midpoint of the edge. Okay, so let's see, I'll explain it to you with the help of a circle. So that's the difference. So inscribed means the triangle will be within the circle, and circumscribed means the triangle would be outside of the circle. So these are the 2 points that you need to understand. I hope you have learned this in your lower grades in school. This is not a very big short thing, but just a revision for you. Okay, so let me erase this, and now we will try a different shape. Okay, we'll try this once again. So again, concentrate on the command bar. I'll enter POL, enter, and then enter the number of sides 3, and then the center, and let's see, inscribed, and I enter 3. Okay, now moving forward, we will draw a square. Okay, so I'll say enter number of sides 4, enter, center of polygon, and then inscribed in circle, and let me see, I need it again 3. Okay, so always when you give the command for a polygon, it will draw regular polygons. That means if this is a regular triangle, regular as in all the sides of the figure would be equal, so it will be an equilateral triangle, it will be a square. You can't draw a rectangle using the polygon tool because it will always draw a regular figure. Okay, now regular polygon. Now let's try a pentagon. POL, enter the number of sides 5, enter, specify the center of polygon, and then inscribed in circle, again I say 3, enter. So you see all the sides are same. So this is the polygon tool when you need to draw the regular polygons over your sheet. So this command works for any number of sides that you want. So if you want a 10 sided polygon, so I don't remember what it is called, I can google it, but let's not do that. So I'll give the command polygon, then the number of sides 10, I'll specify the center, inscribed or circumscribed depending upon you, and then 3, enter. Get this? So it will draw a polygon, a 10 sided polygon with equal length for all sides. So this was the polygon command that we missed in the previous chapter. Now let's erase this. Moving forward is the trim and the extend command. So what is a trim and extend command? So let's see. I'm drawing some lines on the screen. Okay. Okay. So now I have drawn these lines, but I think I need to make some corrections. I want it to be alternate. So consider this vertical line. So I don't want it to be continuous. I want it to be trimmed from in between. Okay, I don't want it to be continuous. So what I'll do, will I just select it and erase it? No, I won't. I don't want, or else what is the other thing that you make a line from here to here, then again from here to here. This will just increase your decrease the speed of your drafting. So what we do is we just give the command trim. So trim is tr enter, tr enter, and you see when you when you take your cursor over that line, it grays out only that part with an X on it. And X on the cursor means that it is going to erase it if we click on it. So when I click on it, that line gets deleted. So we are just trimming the lines. You're getting this? So if you want to create a nice pattern or anything like that, so this is where trim is used, and where you want to trim a certain part of the drawing, okay, not the whole thing but just a little part. So suppose let's say I'm drawing this and then I give an offset of 0.23, and suppose this is the corner of the wall. But do you think in draft this is a proper drafting? No, it should be a continuous wall. These two lines should not be there. So we'll just enter tr enter and then click on these two extensions. So it will trim those lines, so you don't have to delete it or make any considerable changes. So it is a single command, tr enter. Okay, now moving forward, the third tool, that is the exact opposite of trim. So let's see, when I click on tr enter, okay, so do you see here it's written select object to trim or shift select to extend. Okay, so it's an exact opposite. So even if you are into the trim command, you can still use the extend command by pressing the shift key. So if I press shift, you see the line gets extended, it's not trimming. And then as soon as I release the shift key, the X appears, the trim gets activated. But when I hold the shift key, the trim is converted into extend. So what does extend do? It's pretty simple. So let's see, I'm drawing a line over here, I'm drawing a line over here, and there is some drafting error while that I'm drawing on the screen and I wanted to extend. So I'll just enter EX enter. You see the extend command got activated, and just click on it. Okay, so for the extend command to work, there should always be an end point. You can't extend it in thin air. So you should have a surface till where it will need to extend. Suppose I delete this and then try the extend command, it won't work because there is no edge. So this is our grid line, don't consider that. I'll turn off the grid. Okay, I turned off the grid, and you see if I put the extend command, it won't, because there is no surface to till where do you need to extend it. Okay, as soon as I put a surface and then apply the extend command, it will get extended to the particular point. So that was all about polygon, trim and extend. So these trim and extend helps you to work faster, to make your drawings, if there are any errors in your drawing, to resolve them. With these two tools you can do it much faster. Now let's move in for today's chapter. Okay, moving forward, now you see I have already imported a plan. It is a simple plan without any furniture or any such thing, any such detailing. It's a plain plan that I have imported. So we will be now learning what are layers. Okay, so do you see all the elements in this plan are color coded? So there is a red color, there is an ochre color, black color, a hatch in a gray color, and then red color for windows, and then a column will be a blue color. So okay, in order to understand that easily, let's turn the line weight on, and now you see along with the line weights how the drawing looks, how neat it looks, because we have organized it within layers. So let's see, I click on this black line. So as soon as I click on it, do you see the layers panel? What does it say? Walls. Because I have assigned this layer to this particular item. So when I select on wall, when I click anywhere, if I select this, if I select this, all the black lines that are on the screen, it will always say walls. But if I choose a different layer that is not walls, it won't say anything. Okay, so these are basically layers. Now if I select this, it will say window. Okay, and then let's see this. So even if it is in a different color, different line weight, it will still say window, because it is the seal. You can't highlight it, you can't highlight the seal of the window. So that's why. So it doesn't mean that putting things in layer means they have the same properties. You see the two lines over here, one is a red bold line, another is a black plain line without any thickness. So even if I select all of them, it will still show window because I have assigned the layer window to them. Now if I select these, okay, I think I didn't give this anything. Let me check. Yeah, so if I select this, it says door. Correct? So there are not many layers if you don't put in any furniture or any detailings. So when the number of elements, the number of entities in your drawings increase, the number of layers increase over here. So presently, if I click on this, you see there are a very few layers that I have created. There is a dim line is the dimension line. So whenever I'll be putting in something under dimension, and whenever I'll be putting any dimensions in the drawing, I'll always do it in the dim layer. Then there is door, railing, text. Text means the annotations, the labelings. Whenever I'll be putting that, it will be always in the text layer. Walls and windows. So it's pretty simple. Now, how do I work in layers? So the command for layers is LA enter. So as soon as I entered LA enter, it opened up a new box. Correct? Now we will talk about the walls layer. Okay, I'll select the walls layer. The first thing that these three things, it is we will learn it at the end. So first I'll talk to you about the properties. Okay, so first is the color of the layer. What do you want the color of your walls to be? Okay, second thing will be, is it a continuous line that you want, or a dotted line, a dash dot line, a dashed line, or a center line? So even in lines there are a lot of things. Okay, if you want to more types of lines, you can select load, and you see there are a lot of lines that you can, lot of types for the lines that you want. Okay, so I'll always want it to be a solid line. Okay, I don't want my walls to be dotted, so I'll select solid. Then it says line weight. So what needs to be the line weight of the drawing or walls? So currently I have set it in 0.4. As you increase it, the line weight will increase, but currently I have set it in 0.4 mm. Then comes the transparency. If you want your drawing or your hatch, if you are putting some hatch into your drawings that you need to be a bit transparent, then you can increase the transparency. Okay, plot style normal. So this is how you create a layer. So whenever you want a drawing, there you can all So what you can do is you can make a AutoCAD file with the pre-existing layers embedded in it, so that you don't need to make all the layers again and again. Okay, so let's close this. I told you so how to create a layer. So at the top over here, do you see new layer or Alt plus N? So if I click on it, it will say layer 1. So I see test layer. Okay, and then I'll give it a color and everything else as we discussed earlier. If you want to delete it, just select delete and it will be deleted. Okay, now how do we use these layers after we create these layers? So how to use them? Now if consider I'm starting with the walls of the plan, walls in the plan. So I'll select walls, and now everything that I draw will come in the walls layer. Okay, so these are my walls. I offset it. Okay, now let's see, I offsetted it. Now I want these to be gone, so I'll trim it, that we just learned at the start of this video. Trim. Okay, now tell me one thing, what would we do over here? How will we join these two lines? We learned this in chapter 2. So it will be fillet. Okay, so using the fillet, this is where fillet comes to use. So when you want to join any two lines, as long as they extend and meet at a single point, you will use the fillet command. Okay, now suppose I want, so that is how it is, we use layers. Now suppose I want to draw a window. Okay, so I'll draw a window over here, and then suppose it's 2 meter from here and then from here. Okay, I trim this because I don't want the walls on my windows, but these needs to be a walls. That's where match properties come in. So I'll select match properties, select the wall, and these two will be the walls as well. Now what we can do is, now suppose you have a sample drawing like me over here. So what I'll do is I'll just select this window. You saw we learned the copy command in the previous video, correct? I'll select copy, and then I'll just transfer this over here. I'll just copy it. And now what command will I use to extend them to the endpoint? It will be the extend command. So you see, this is how we make our window. So this will automatically go into the windows layer. Suppose let's say we don't have a sample drawing for a reference and we are still drawing everything in the wall command. So what we can do is select these, it will say walls, and just click on windows. It will automatically transfer it into windows. Now the remaining two sill levels, I'll transfer it into windows as well. But now I don't want them to be in red color, right? Because they are sill levels. I want them to be in a lighter color and not bold. So that's where properties come in. Okay, so the color, so when you select color, it will say by layer. So we don't want it by layer. By layer means the settings of the layer. We don't want it to be by layers because we don't want it to be red and bold. So we want it to be black. So I'll select black. Now it says line weight. We need to change only two things, that is the color and the line weight. So what we'll do is we'll select line weight. So again, we don't want it to be by layer because by layer we have set it at 0.4, but we want it to be suppose 0.0 or 0.1. So select that. So even though you change the properties of these, it will still be in the Windows layer. In the upcoming videos, in the upcoming chapters, I'll be also teaching you how to draw a complete full-fledged plan right from 0 to 100 along with all the dimensions, the furnitures and everything, all the templates. I'll be also giving you the templates for the furniture so you don't have to draw them every time, so that you will get a more better understanding of how layers work and how we use each and every command that we have learned until now. Moving forward, you see in the layers box, besides the layer, there are three options. One looks like a bulb, other looks like a sun, and then the third one looks like a lock. So let's see what are those. Okay, now moving over here, let's erase this. Okay, now moving forward, I am in the windows layer, so I'll go to the walls layer, and let's see, we click on the bulb. Okay, so when we click on the bulb, you see it says turn a layer on or off. So let us turn it on off. So it will say that your current layer will be turned off. That means objects that you make from now on will not be displayed in the drawing until you turn the layer back on. So okay, let me go to the 0 layer, and now I'll turn the layer off for walls. Let's see what happens. So turn it off, and you see that the walls disappeared. You see that? So that means the layer is off. Everything that is in the walls layer is off, is turned off. Okay, you see there are no walls left. Now let's turn it back on. Okay, so it is basically if you don't want to see any layers, if it is obstructing your view or creating a confusion for you while drafting, that's when you turn the layer off and it will just disappear. It will still be there, you can always turn them back on. Okay, now suppose the second point. Okay, let's see. Now the second is freeze or thaw in all viewports. So it will freeze the layer. So let's see, I do this. Okay, again it did the same thing, freeze the layer. That means you won't be able to see anything. So but it will be in all viewports. Like if you see it in south elevation, east elevation, you won't be able to draw it. So let's see, I select walls. So you see the selected layer cannot be made the current changes because it isn't frozen layers. So when the layer is frozen or when you turn it off, you won't be able to make any new drawings in it. Okay, now let's turn it back on, unfreeze it, and then the third is lock or unlock the layer. So let's do that. So I clicked on lock. Okay, and you see that it didn't disappear, but it grayed out. Okay, so let's see here. So you see I can still select it, but I can't make any changes. So suppose I select the layer, I press enter, that is the erase command. It won't erase it because it is locked. So when it is locked, you can still see the layers, but it won't be affected with any command that you give. So suppose you want these layers to be locked, but you also want them as a reference point. You don't want these walls to disappear and turn it off. So that's where you just lock the layer so that any changes that you make, suppose I'm making some intricate designs over here. Okay, this is some detailing that I'm doing, maybe. Okay, and what I see is that no, that's not looking nice for me, it's not working for me. So what I'll do is I'll select everything, but what will happen is even the walls layer will get selected, and then it will get deleted, and then you'll have to draft it again. So that's where when you lock the layer, and even if you select it and press erase, the walls won't get deleted because it will be locked. So when the layer is locked, it will still be there, but it will gray itself out, and then you can't make any changes to the drawing. They can be just used as the reference for those for drawing more things. So let's unlock it, and you see it's back to black. First it was grayed out when we turned them, locked them, and when we unlocked them it turned to black. So that's how layers work, guys. Okay, that's it for today's video, guys. I hope you found this video educating. Also, please like, share and subscribe. Share it with your friends who want to learn AutoCAD. And if you have any doubts, do comment it down below. Have a good day and stay safe, stay home. Bye.